record. Check, check. Yep, we're all good there. All right, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, we are back for another interview with at Launders Landing. This time around, it's actually a different person. You probably don't know him as well as you might with others. Tell us your name.
I'm Alex, aka Shab.
And so what are you doing here? What is your role and everything in this?
I'm a co-founder of In-Game Corp, so it's owned by me and Mohan, Launders, and we put together Launders Land too, and we did Launders Land and Fragfest as well.
For sure. And so the first question I've been asking everybody, just because it's that time of year, is what is your New Year's CS resolution?
Oh my gosh, what is it? Oh my God, it's it's not 1280-960. It's a 1610 res. Oh my God, it's 1440 1080p.
1440 1080p.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
That wasn't what the question was meant to be. It was like, what are you hoping to do in the
my resolution? Oh, I want to get really lean. Wait, is this Counter-Strike related?
Sure.
Oh, wait, I think you said Counter-Strike.
It's Counter-Strike related, yes.
Oh, it's
Counter-Strike
oh
related
fuck.
question.
Okay, my Counter-Strike resolution.
Yes.
Yeah, you threw me off.
You can
okay.
get lean and you can get
No,
lean.
okay. I guess we want to get another event going for Counter-Strike, so we want to get another event going later in the year. It'd be almost like a Launders Land 3 type. So for like early summer kind of thing. So that's my resolution. We bring that to Toronto.
Amazing. Okay. Well, it's a good thing you talk about that because a lot of my questions are based around on that because I know what you do here. So, yeah, I think the first thing is Nouns are the headline sponsor of Launders Land number 2 here, and you had Rivalry previously do the other ones. Is there a lot of interest with sponsors and other types like that to do lands in the Toronto area?
Yeah, so there's a lot, and there's also like a lot of people involved. So there's like AMD who's helping us out with a bunch of the PCs. There's Liquid, they want to be involved with like a bunch more grassroots stuff. There was like Shopify, who's part of the Shopify Rebellion. They also have Shopify Downtown Toronto. Nouns, obviously, they do a bunch of Smash stuff. They have their DAO, which is really neat. They obviously partnered up with us after seeing the last event, and we were able to bring that to life. And now it's like the event that we have now is just like amazing. It's kind of like scaled up every time. But even like partnerships-wise, there was more people that like we wanted to get involved here. But even it's like, so like for the next one, we're planning a bigger space and we want to get more people involved, whether it's like booths or just even like Artist Alley. Cause like there's like Anime North in Toronto, which I really like. And there's like all the artists there that come through. So we want to do stuff like that for like CS or so many like cool talented artists, get them set up with booths or kind of just like whatever. We just want to get like, rather than just big companies, which like we love as well, especially like Liquid who wants to help out grassroots stuff, but we want to get like the smaller people too who are just like, not the size, but they still want to be involved somehow. So we do want to do that.
For sure. Awesome. Well, so this actually ties in perfectly then. Are there any plans to expand In-Game Corp into other lands in Canada, or is it more just going to be kind of Toronto specific?
Right now it's Toronto specific, just because there's a lot that go into planning them, and this is kind of our first one as In-Game Corp. So it was like, I was with Rivalry before, and we did it under there, and then now I'm doing In-Game Corp with Launders, and so it's just like, this was like, we'll test the waters, see how it is. We kind of know everyone will have a good time, and it's been pretty good so far. But we do want to expand. Like, I think we do want to do more than just Counter-Strike. We almost want to like bring a bunch of games together, almost in like a DreamHack style, because the tier 1 events are obviously really fun and amazing to watch, but being able to come and just like watch your friends play, or just like play with your friends because it's just like an open tournament, whether it's like CS or like Valorant or like Melee or whatever it is, that's kind of like a lot of fun. So that's like something that we want to keep expanding on.
If you had to pick a big city in Canada to go to next, think of all the big ones across all the provinces.
I'm thinking.
Which one would you want to go next? Just even as like, I want to do an event there so I can spend time around the city.
Yeah. For some reason, my head was popping. I was thinking Yellowknife, but I don't know if we're going to do that. But I was like, that'd be kind of sick. Launders Land and Yellowknife. But probably Vancouver or Edmonton, I would say one of the two. I'd say, doing something on the West Coast. I know there's like a lot of really cool Smash events out there that they do. Like Don't Park at the Grass, that was just a recent one. But doing something out there would be, I think, really cool. And I do think there's like a lot of people West Coast that would probably come up, as we're East Coast right now. Just makes it easier, but I think that would realistically be our next one. That's not Toronto.
Yeah, for sure. hold on, I gotta scroll up a little. So, what do you enjoy about the LAN culture that has started to pop up in the last few years
Yeah.
with the Fragadelphias, now with Launders LAN
Yeah.
kind of coming in as well?
So I used to play a long time ago, like 10 years ago. I've been to Fragadelphia myself. I was at Frag 11, I think. And we played there. I would play in LANs all over the city. And we got to like win a few, and it was just like a lot of fun, just like that experience. Also, just like there's a lot of my friends who are just like my real life friends, and none of us really play that much anymore, like competitively, like even like at all. Like most of us don't play competitively at all, but we're still like best friends. And that was just like a big thing, was that like I guess even like 10 years ago, because it's grown so much in the past 10 years. Some of the people that like you'll connect with the most will be at these events, because it was more niche. Like there was a lot of Toronto LANs we would go to, and they wouldn't even sell out. It would be like a $500 or $1,000 prize pool, and we would like sign up the second that we saw it go, because we just know, like we would know the people, everyone who was coming, we knew, because they would be at the last one, and they would almost never sell out. But they were so much fun to go to, and like we'd be playing from like 9 a.m. to like 3 a.m. and it's like we're not even swapping groups, we're just like playing that whole time, and it was just so much fun. So obviously we don't have the exact same thing here, but just being able to kind of have everyone in the building, the fact that like everyone in this building right now is either here for CS or Melee, or like the crossover of both, is kind of really amazing that we were able to bring it together and then kind of like execute on it. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. One last personal question for you then.
Yeah.
So what got you into doing event planning and wanting to run something like a Launders LAN?
So this was like way back when I was a player. I always thought that it would be fun to plan an event myself, but I never really had the backing for it, because they are, especially like Counter-Strike events, can be relatively expensive, unless you're getting a bunch of people who come together and kind of like do it together. But you still need a lot of stuff. You need, PCs, production, whatever, something to show the stream off. You need a building, and Counter-Strike needs a lot of space. So it's like I've always wanted to kind of do my own, but I've always played in them and I've always enjoyed them, and I always thought there was maybe ways that like, oh, I could do this better, or I would do this differently. And then when I was with Rivalry, we had Launders as a partner, and that was like one of his things. He was like, let's run a LAN in Toronto, let's run a LAN. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to run a LAN. And so we kind of brought the idea to Rivalry, and we were like, can we, do a LAN in Toronto? Can we do one, which was Fragfest, which you casted at? Yeah, not officially, but you did cast at it. And that was the first LAN that like I essentially put together from scratch, and kind of just like ideated with the team at Rivalry to bring everything together. And then it was a very scuffed LAN. That was chopped so much. That was very
that deserves its own kind of story sometime.
That was probably one of the most brutal LANs I've ever been to in my entire life. So it kind of sucked, but like we were having so many issues, but so many people were having so much fun, and it was just like really cool to be like, that was the first time I was over there not as a player, and being able to bring it all together and see people like leave happy, like that was really cool. So then we kind of brought the next one together, and then that one was really fun too, and then we scaled up a little bit more again, and this one's been like by far our best one. So yeah.
All right, last question then. I've been asking everybody this so far. It's one that you get different answers depending on who you're asking. So I wonder, you said you've been in the game a little bit here, but we saw Lake last Launders LAN, and then all of a sudden he's gone to M80. He's done a really good job with that, and he played at Launders LAN just kind of before that. So who are you looking at so far here in Launders? I know you've been busy. Who are you looking at so far in Launders LAN to name-wise and been like, they're the next one up?
I can't remember his name, but on MCS, those guys are actually insane. Those guys are really crazy. Oh man, I can't remember his name. Oh man, but there's one of there's one of the boys on MCS that are crazy. I think honestly, I think anyone on MCS, but like there's someone in particular, I can't remember your name. Sorry.
Well, we'll figure it out later and we'll add it somewhere and just say, hey, it was this player.
But the MCS guys are insane. There's a few guys on UFT that are actually really good as well. And yeah, I want to say almost anyone from MCS. I think if it's them against NRG in the finals, I think they'll give them a run for their money for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the interview. Good luck with the rest of the weekend. I don't really have the hands to shake. There we go. All right. Thank you very much. And this is going to be the end of this interview. Have a good time.